Hey, it's Aaron, the metal theologian. So, cool little Bandcamp story. Had to share. That's the point of today's video is. But before I go down that rabbit hole, I just want to hype this band a little bit. This is fucking Oxen Killer. It's a great name. Monster of Steel. And this record is fucking fantastic. And like, people don't talk about it very much. I forget about this record because this record just, I think it falls into the sort of the crack. Like, there's the popular metal, like the stuff that everyone knows, the Metallica and the Maiden, the Priest, and like even sort of beyond that, like the Sodom and the Destruction, and like basically you can have like a full metal life, like enjoying this pot of metal. And then you can go like going for like the mega collectibles and the obscure shit, like some of the shit that I kind of show here sometimes. Not to like be a braggart about it, but you know, I know what I have. But then there's like this sort of like gap between those. There's like the collectibles over here, and then like the regular shit over here. I mean, it's all collectible now, but then there's like this sort of little gap in the middle there, and I think that this record falls into it because like it's not really that rare or expensive. But it's you know, it's on King Classic Records. It wasn't even on a Metal Blade or a Combat or anything like that. And the fact they're French probably didn't help them much either, you know. I like that cover is almost awesome, but not quite. But you know what they do deliver is the fucking face this guy's making. You're making faces like that, I won't even call you out for not having a mustache. I mean, holy shit, man, he's not fucking around. Look, he's making those fists too. Yeah, see, I'm not really big into band photos because they normally don't look like that. They look like they're trying to be cool, like they're ironic or like hip or something. It's like, fuck you, man. Like, you do a fucking like real pose like that and I'll let it go. Yeah. So yeah, French band, 1987. Listen how fucking good this is, man. That's a little funny, you know. This is a great song, man. Fucking Oxen Killer, you know. So I show expensive records sometimes on here, but this shouldn't be one of them. If that one costs like an arm and a leg, then someone's trying to rip you off. So that's an awesome record. All right. So anyway, I don't even remember how this came up. Like a week or two ago, I don't know, on some Discord or some forum or some video or something, and someone mentioned a band called Drifter. And they said it was, they like just turned on to this band or something. It was something they heard somewhere. They heard a little clip and they passed it along. I was like, man, Drifter's kind of a lousy name. I mean, it kind of has that sort of boomer feel to it, you know? I mean, I think there was a Deep Purple song called that. And there was a really early Iron Maiden song called that. So it kind of has that sort of 70s thing. It's like, you know, kind of a trite name. But I listened to the clip and I was like, fuck, man, I really like this. So I was like, oh, what the hell, man? You know, we all make mistakes. So I'm going to fucking... So I go over to the Bandcamp, because there's a link there, and I was like, oh, the fucking thing's on tape, and it's like $10. Okay, sure, man, what the hell? So I forget about it, right? So yesterday I got this in the mail. This is like the address here. So it's like that thing. So it's like this cardboard improvised thing, you know? And like, when this is what your fucking mail is looking like, you know you're in good shape. So I fucking got this far, and I was like, I should just make a video about this, because it's fucking fantastic. So, yeah, let's tear into the fucking bubble wrap here, shall we? I have to be careful because you see there's like a button right there. So we're going to show that shit off, then we're going to check this tape out together. Because I had to listen to it for a second. You know, I sampled it for a second online, but I don't really like to do that. Because it kind of spoils, like, the, sort of the thrill of putting the new thing in for the first time. It's nice to know if I'm going to like something or not, you know? But see, here's the thing, dude. I fucking took one look at this cover, and I knew what the answer to that was. Because fucking look at this, dude. Hell yeah. Fucking Drifter. It's a pro tape. On Caviar. Okay, we're gonna fire this up in just 1 second, but I'm gonna show you the button first. Look at that shit. Fuck. Sorry, I'm having trouble. You'd think after like 8 years almost of making videos, I'd figure out like the reverse thing. But no, that would be too much like, I can't get it to focus, fuck it. Anyway. Yeah, it looks like all tracks repeat on both sides, one of those kinds of deals. So let's fire this shit up, man. Let's see what it sounds like. I already know it's going to be good. So, like, from that standpoint, there's absolutely no surprise here. But for y'all, there might be a nice surprise. Let's show off the J card. Oh, it's professionally printed, man. You know, it's like, it's card stock, but it's not like the super heavy card stock where it pisses you off. There's two guys in the band, it looks like. Leo Kabat, who actually is the guy who sent me the thing. And James Lewis. So here, this is awesome. Let's check this shit out. See, I'm having trouble with the left and right again. Red guitar and black guitar. And listen to this fucking, like, gallop. See, I've been on to this, like, new wave British heavy metal kick. And holy fuck does the scratch that is, man. Like, bands, there are 100 bands out there that try to sound like Maiden. I mean, there have been since the 80s. And God love them. It's a great band to emulate. But this is the bar room. This is the new wave of British heavy metal sound that I talk about. This is why Venom and even Maiden aren't really new wave bands anymore. You know, those early Maiden kind of is, and the really early Venom demos maybe and shit. But, like, Number of the Beast is not a new wave of British heavy metal record. And the reason why is because it doesn't sound like this. It's that kind of old-fashioned guitar tone, that shuffle. Casual drumming style. It's fucking great, man. A really simple chord progression, too. You know, it's funny how you can, like, you can do 10,000 creative things and it'll like almost sound great, and you'll still end up coming back to the same fucking chord progression that's been around since, like, you know, Handel. Alright, I'm going to show a couple more records, and we're going to listen to a little more Drifter while we're doing that. Let me shut this so I can set shit there. Yeah, so what else do we have? Oh, dude, this record is fucking great. I pulled this out like a couple months ago to listen to it. I was sitting here and I was like, oh, how come it's sitting in the back and I haven't played it yet? And I put it on and it blew me away. Okay, now, records I was talking about, sort of the more collectible ones. This one is more on the collectible side. Sorry. But you know, it is pretty readily available. Excuse me, the fucking coat, man. There's a reissue of this that our friend Scott Waters did a year or two ago, which is actually an unreleased full LP by this band, which is just as good as this LP. So go check that out if this is too pricey. But this is a 4-track EP from this band, Mass, that sounds like maybe a Catholic band, but apparently it's because they're from Massachusetts, which actually kind of makes the name even worse. But this record smokes, dude. It has a sort of a primitive sound to it. It's funny because, like, this has like sort of an early metal sound to it, kind of primitive, but not quite as primitive as this. And this is like this year, I'm pretty sure. Maybe they didn't put a date on here because they wanted to put one over on us. No, it's 2021 though. Anyway, Mass is cool. Here's another record that I hadn't played in a long time, so I pulled it out. This is the first Oz record, and there's like an earlier pressing of it that's a little more desirable that has like a live shot, but it's not really all that great a record. Over there. It's not all that great a record, so like, you know, I wasn't gonna fucking... I almost feel like this record suffers from the fact that Fire in the Brain is so great. I actually haven't played that one, but I'm going to probably like after I make this video, or, you know. Yeah, I think we're still going to be listening to Drifter through the end of the video, so you probably won't get to hear any Oz tonight. But it's going to get played really soon. This record really isn't bad. You know, it's about a 6 out of 10 metal record. It's the sort of thing where if it were like some nobody band on Mausoleum, you might pull it out once a year and throw it on and go, yeah, this is at least as good as, you know, Wildfire, you know? Or Dark Wizard, maybe even. But Fire in the Brain is so good that you listen to this and you're just like, man, that's not what I want it to be, you know? So I almost feel like they're victims of their own success on this debut, because it's really not bad. You know, it's really not great either, but it's really not bad, you know? If I blind bought a metal record for $20 at my local shop and it sounded like this, I would feel like I got my money's worth. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, it would be great if it were one of the greatest things ever that I'd never clued into before, but this ain't that, you know? That's fine. Not every record can be the greatest. The singing style is really true to like the new wave British heavy metal thing too. I feel bad if these guys weren't going for that. If this is just like, yeah, man, this is just what I feel, you know? I was like, oh shit, man, there's like this whole genre that like people like me have been collecting for all these years. I'm just fucking around. I'm sure they know what they're doing. Just showing it again because it's so good. I'll crack wise about the name, but not about the fucking band, man. Well, I'd crack wise about the band too, but this still rules. And you should go check it out. That's why I keep showing it. I'm like encouraging you to go fucking get a copy of this fucking tape from this band, because there can't be that many of these. You know what I mean? This is the sort of thing you'll dig out in 30 years and be like, who the fuck was that? Man, this is great. You know, either that, or they'll become the next Iron Maiden. You know what this is going to be? That's going to be your original Soundhouse tapes, you know? You know? So like, you think you're going to be all stupid about buying a Drifter? Well, I bet you wouldn't have felt stupid if you had bought a fucking Soldiers of Metal 45, an original one, when that fucking came out. Or a fucking Stick to Your Guns 45. This is your Stick to Your Guns 45 right here, man. Alright, that's enough. I'm really just playing now. But this is a great tape. I really love it. You know, I've been playing some of this cheesier stuff. I'm pretty sure I talked about the Shifa record in my last video too, man. But this has just been doing it for me, this band. In fact, I've been playing I sent away for a copy of an Angel of Mons 45 that I just put away before. It's, they only made this one record. There's all this shit like Talkbox on here, and like a lot of like sort of synths and shit. A lot of stuff I normally don't go for, but these songs just do it for me, man. Some of the backing vocals have a real AOR quality to them. But I love this fucking record, man. I mean, this has really become a favorite. This, by the way, does not sound as new wave British heavy metal as this does. It's an LP. Also, by the way, if you ever heard of this, I've heard this band compared to Rush before, okay? The more you listen to this record, the less it sounds like Rush, okay? If you throw this on for the first time, I could see someone going, oh yeah, these are Rush fans, whatever, throw it away. You listen to it 3 or 4 more times, their own sound is in there. You just, you know, it unfolds, it reveals itself to you over time. Yeah, I'm a pretty big Shifa fan. Who would have thought? I pulled this one out again too, man. Fucking some shit that you're not likely to see on the Metal Theologian channel. Jesus AOR from Ex-Skinnerd Numbers. Yeah, Vision, man. But this is really good too. This is a little bit more than I wanted. This is really Chromie D worthy stuff. But I really like this record in spite of myself, man. So the songs are just good, man, and it has this real sort of, you know, tinsely kind of. I mean, it's '84, but it has like, you know, they're going for like a Boston-y kind of sound or something like that, as far as like the bombast of it, sort of the size of it. You know what I mean? There's a word I'm trying to think of that isn't coming to me, but that sort of arena rock feel. You know what I mean? Is definitely what they're going for. And I don't know. I think maybe that's what redeems us a little bit from some of the other AOR that's contemporary, but. You know, Chromie D, not too long ago, he's becoming like Scott Waters. Like, every fucking video I make, I mention Scott Waters, and now every fucking video I mention Chromie D. Yeah, he told me recently, I said something about like how there was this record that was really pretty AOR, but I really kind of liked it. He's like, dude, I've known for a long time that you like AOR, you just haven't known it yet. And I'm not willing to concede that I know any such thing quite yet. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this other band, Crisis, man. This is another sort of, you know, real rockin', the color just did something weird. That's probably because of this. I don't think it's the plastic. I think it's just the, look at that. Fucks with the camera color, it's so stark, yeah. Um, this is another fucking hard-working, like, kind of working class sound, like, just a rockin', early-sounding metal band. Really, not quite as 1980 sounding as this, but this is like 82-ish? No, 81. And yeah, that's pretty much what this sounds, you know? They don't have the hooks of a band like Demon, but they rock a little harder for it. And again, it's another one that's not all that hard to find. There are actually two different versions, and in fact, fucking... I have the fucking visual aid here. I might as well bust it out, right? Yeah, this is the other one that came out too. This is on Metalworks, which I think was a UK license. No. It's funny because there's a Metalworks out of the UK too, but this one has an address in LA. And Ironworks was different again, so... Yeah, so I don't know what the deal was with this one either, but you know, basically. Actually, that's really weird, because this one's pretty much just a private press. I always thought this would have been picked up by somebody, but maybe this is just a private press too, so. I also subscribe to Let's Talk Metal with Alan, because he wouldn't do shit like this. He would just have the facts at hand. But not me, man. I'm fucking winging it all the way. Yeah, no, I don't know what the deal is with this, because it just looks like a private press too. Metalworks. It's definitely not Ironworks. There's nothing about D.T. Richards on here or anything. But I don't see any other names that aren't in the band either. So. Anyway, man, whichever version you get, it's the same record, and this is another fucking fantastic record. It's like the Drifter listening party is what it is. Is this tape good though, man? Fucking shit. You know something though? I want to play a minute of Crisis, because it kind of makes a point that I'm kind of trying to make right now anyway, because they sort of have that aesthetic going too. It'd be nice if I could find the fucking inner sleeve for the record that I was playing, huh? What I was saying about organization? God damn it, man, what a fucking pain in the ass. It's probably over here. You know what's funny is I'm pretty sure, I definitely put this on before I started filming. Otherwise I was going to say, if like, you might be watching this and actually know where the fucking inner is that I'm looking for right now. Like, you'd be playing like Warm and Cold with me or whatever. There it is. I'll put it back in the thing in a second. I'll tell you something though. I'm a lot more casual, like with my records and shit, than some people. You won't see me just set one down ever. So, I mean, I'm not the mint freak that some people are. Is all I'm saying. All right, let's put on the fucking Crisis record. We're gonna put on the Metalworks version of it because I played the other one before. It's exactly the same stuff, though. It's just a real sort of, working man's type of metal, and I've just been really into this sound lately, So Drifter hit me at the right time, but that's why I've been showing all these like new wave British heavy metal records. That Green Metal compilation, the one from the UK. Oh fuck, I have to drop the tape monitor, don't I? I'll let that go. Let me pull out this other comp actually, because it's sort of in the same vein. It's funny, this fucking video is feeling more improvised even than usual. I guess that's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, this comp. This is an Irish comp from the new wave of British heavy metal era. It's like, well, actually it's 85, but Ireland's kind of far away. It's kind of I won't call it a backwater because that sounds so pejorative, but like, if I can say it's sort of far away and like not necessarily connected to Great Britain. Anyway, they're doing their own thing there is what I'm trying to say. Just because they're close to England doesn't mean they have anything to do with England, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, this record, I don't know any of these fucking bands. No, I know Black Witch, actually. I have heard of Black Witch. I forgot about that. They made an LP that is, it's okay. It's not incredible. I have a reissue of it that came out a couple years ago. I think if I'd paid for an original, I might be a little bummed. But if I'd paid for an original, let's face it, I might have tried a little harder to like it too. Anyway, the point is, this comp, it's a bunch of nobody bands. It's awesome. I like every single song on this fucking record. Most of it is pretty fucking heavy. You know, again, new wave British heavy metal heavy, but it's not like there are these slow jams or ballads or on here on the one hand, or like, you know, punk or pop songs by non-metal artists on the other, you know. There's one song on here that sounds like some Irish folk song that they sort of adapted, and that's the closest this thing comes to anything that's like a ballad. So if you come across this on the Metal Masters label, don't really know much about it, it's a really cool record, and again, it embodies this kind of working class sound. Now, these guys are American, but this is what makes that shit so magical, and this is why I'm so excited about Drifter. So this video actually does have a coherent thesis, you see? Showing Drifter one more time because it's so cool. Alright, so what else do we have to show here? I'll show one or two more, then we're going to hang it up. I think it's about 20 minutes. So. Here, actually, I'll address this one real quick. This is one that's come up a lot of times because I've never owned this record before, and people talk about it, and I haven't really been able to participate in those discussions. This just came in the mail not too long ago. I definitely like it. And I got into this one faster than I got into the second one, the name of which escapes me right now. You can tell I'm like really dedicated to like UK thrash, which is funny after talking about the year stuff earlier in the decade so much, but it's a little late. Look at this weird pressing though, man. It's like this weird fucking French pressing, and look at the back. They just doesn't have the fucking titles on here, like on the Noise one. I don't know what's up with that. I mean, this is on Musadisc. I have no reason to believe it's a bootleg or anything, but it's a weird press. Kind of a fucked up thing. I mean, it looks so stupid, you know? Alright. I'll show one last one here. Since you mentioned Scott Waters, I've been listening to this too. It's a really cool thrash record. Pretty straight ahead, very heavy. Pokes a little bit of a hole in my sort of hostility to Wild Rags. Historically, I've kind of tended to shit on the Wild Rags bands a little bit. I definitely listen to a lot of Wild Rags records. I was living in LA, that shit turned up all the time, man. So, you know, you'd find Wild Rags records for a couple bucks. I'd check them out. Most of them I just thought were crap. This one's really pretty good, though, man. Maybe it's because they're from Texas, but this record smokes pretty hard, you know? So yeah, if you're looking for a copy, there's a reissue kicking around right now on our friend Scott's label. I think you can find originals too, but still, man. Who wants to deal with that shit, right? Yeah, I think that's about all I've got for tonight. So simple but so effective, you know? That's the theme of tonight's video. Simple but effective. Thanks for watching.